Let's set the stage real quick. On July 30th, 2021, the Blue Jays bolstered their pitching rotation with the acquisition of José Berríos in exchange for two highly touted prospects in Austin Martin and Simeon Woods Richardson. It's now almost 2 years since the blockbuster trade, so I think it's time to sit down and analyze exactly how this trade has panned out for both teams. First off, I want to go over the two prospects that the Jays gave up. And as mentioned, that was Austin Martin, who at the time was the Jays' number 2 prospect and MLB's number 22nd, and Simeon Woods Richardson, who was the Jays' number 4 ranked prospect and MLB's 87th. Martin was the Jays' first-round draft pick in 2020 and was entering just his first season in pro ball with the club. And prior to the trade, he had posted respectable numbers for AA New Hampshire, a 281 average, 424 OBP, and a 383 slugging for an OPS of 807 in 56 games. He didn't show his ability to mash the ball, but his 424 OBP is a pretty remarkable number for his first taste of pro ball. However, his early success did not translate into his 2022 season, where he posted a 683 OPS and 2 home runs in 90 games at the AA level. It was a huge step back for him and was ultimately deemed a lost season. He missed 6 weeks from injury and is yet to make his 2023 debut because of a right UCL sprain he suffered late in February, an injury that may entail Tommy John's surgery in the future. And while it is not as serious of an injury for positional players, it could take a year away from him on the diamond. Moving on to Simeon Woods Richardson, who the Jays acquired as the main piece from the Marcus Stroman deal back in 2019. He quickly established himself as the Jays' top prospect with an impressive finish to the 2019 season while playing in Dunedin. Then in 2020, there was no minor league season, meaning 2021 was his next full year of play. And prior to his trade, he was not pitching to the level most would have anticipated. At AA New Hampshire, he had a 2-4 record with a 5.76 ERA in 11 games started. He went on to regain his form in 2022 and reminded everyone of his potential, even managing to make his major league debut later in the season, going 5 innings, allowing just 2 earned runs against the Detroit Tigers. Now in 2023, he has started off a little bit shaky, but given how he is only entering his age 22 season, he has a lot of time before he's expected to make a major part in the Twins rotation. Now that you are refreshed with how the players the Jays gave up are doing, let's go over José Berríos, which at the time was a huge addition to the Jays' rotation. Now, his stats with the Twins weren't anything to drool over, but he brought consistency to the Jays with the upside of elite starter stuff. He joined Ryu, Matz, Manoah, and Ray as a 5 that could compete with most rotations in baseball. And unfortunately, we never got to see the 2021 team in the postseason because I truly think they could have made a run for the championship. But anyways, from the time of Berríos' acquisition to the end of the season, he posted solid numbers, a mid-3 ERA, and went 5-4, a good enough showing of his ability for the Jays to go ahead and hand him a massive 7-year, $131 million extension. I remember at the time my friend who was a Red Sox fan saying how great of a move this was, but as everyone knows, it went all downhill from there. In 2022, he was arguably one of the worst starters in baseball with a 5.32 ERA in 32 games started. Not the type of line you want from a man you just committed a lot of resources into. But that was just year 1. How is he doing in 2023? Well, that's a bit hard to say. Just looking at his overall line, a 3-4 record and a 4.61 ERA is alarming, but underlying stats and his overall performances have looked far more encouraging. An article I greatly enjoyed reading was by Ben Clemens on Fangraphs, with the title being José Berríos is terrible or great. It depends on how you're counting. In the article, he goes on to state that Berríos' hard hit percentage has improved immensely from 2022. Strikeout percentage is up, walk percentage is the lowest it has ever been, and he's allowing more ground balls at 49.4% of the time compared to last year when it was just 40.7. More ground balls equals less fly balls, which equals less home runs, which is shown to be accurate with his 1 home run per 9 innings compared to last year when it was at 1.5. These stats are all impressive and should result in a much better ERA, but unfortunately for him, that has not been the case. The article goes on to state that his fastball is looking much better with more vertical movement. His sinker is causing an insanely high 60% ground ball rate, and his curveball is getting a much greater amount of swinging strikes. His season so far has been perfectly summed up by the differences in WAR depending on the site you look at. On Baseball Reference, he has a negative 0.1 WAR, and on Fangraphs, he has a positive 1.1. That Fangraphs WAR is better than Chris Bassett's, Shane Bieber's, and the same as Marcus Stroman's. And it's safe to say that all 3 of these guys are performing far better than him. All in all, there was no question that the prospects given up at the time were a huge haul for Berríos. And while they both have had their fair share of ups and downs, Austin Martin and Simeon Woods-Richardson both project to be guys the Twins can rely on at the major league level in the next couple of seasons. As for the Jays, it's difficult to say if Berríos will ever reach his full potential, because I think he at his best is a guy that hovers around 10 strikeouts per 9, perennial all-star, and a guy with Cy Young caliber stuff. But nonetheless, a return back to a mid to high 3 ERA should be a feasible target for him. After all, he'll have until 2028 to do it. Also, if you love the Jays as much as I do, then make sure to subscribe. We are closing in on 1,000 subscribers, and you will surely not want to miss out on all the content I have in store for you as the season goes on. And for my next video, I'll be talking about what exactly should the Jays do with Matt Chapman as he enters his last year of team control. It's going to be a good one, and you will surely not want to miss out. Thank you guys for the support, and I will see you all in the next video.